Hello, welcome to Mag Matters Podcast with Dave, myself, Dervin. Thank you again for joining us. Nice August. Almost the end of the summer, sir.
Yeah, certainly doesn't feel like summer. It's been raining all week.
It feels like Seattle summer.
Yeah.
Northwest. But we can go over some topics. Big car. I think we went a little bit about the main event for 319, Dricus Duplessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev, that scar that he has on his face, is that like a cleft palate? I heard that he was an accident he had when he was 2 years old.
Okay. Yeah, I have
He
wondered
almost
about that.
I think he lost. He couldn't breathe out of his right nostril
Really?
at one point because of that injury. But maybe it's something just somebody trolling. Maybe if he got a nose busted, like what's the name? The other Russian.
Get your nose busted?
They maybe get his nose broken. Khamzat Chimaev. Because he already has a compromised nose. According to this, Chimaev suffered a fall down a concrete staircase at the age of 2, resulting in a fractured lip, knocked out teeth, and damage to his nose.
See that? Yeah.
Yeah. For the longest, I thought it was like a cleft palate that he had.
Yeah. Dang. That's quite a tumble.
Yeah. Bad fracture. He revealed that he still has difficulty breathing through his right nostril due to his accident.
You'd think you could get that fixed.
Yeah. But also you don't know how much injury was done to the front part. There might be some scar tissue that might have blocked there. Might be able to shave it down so sore. But a lot of fighters have injuries that were like that when they're little. Jose Aldo, his sister rolled into a fire pit. He has a scar on his face. Freaking Nog, he got run over by a truck when he was 7 or 8. He had a collapsed lung. He has a big scar on his back. And then you had Oliver Ring. He had a bottle broken in his face. That's why he has a scar on his face.
Who did that?
Alistair Overeem.
Really? Yeah.
He has a scar on his face.
Yeah. That's some adventures.
Rough individuals.
Yeah.
Battle scars. You earn them.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's a smasher too. Khamzat Chimaev. I think he trained. Remember Babusat Satif, the wrestler I told you about, the Russian wrestler that he died early on in the year.
The Russian. Okay.
That he was the best, most condecorated Russian wrestler ever.
Right.
Chimaev was training with him a month before he passed away.
Oh wow. Okay.
So both of them from Chechnya.
He's probably gave him the heart attack.
Yeah, I know, right? He's the reason. It's went too hard on him. Well, he's for the reason I don't know if he's changed his citizenship. If in there it still shows UAE as his nationality. I'm not sure because some country or some organizations, they are they don't let Russian citizens to compete. For example, wrestling, Russian, but also they have because of their anti-doping violations, not political reasons that have been suspended. I think they don't use the Russian flag. They use something else for their. Yeah, I think they call it Russian Olympic Committee or something like that, but it's not Russian.
Yeah.
That's they compete
The
on
not Russian Olympic Committee.
No, yeah. The Russian Olympic Committee, but not Russia though. That's what's written on there. It's like a club from Russia to make it look like.
That's funny.
And then some of the wrestlers they compete for other countries. I think the winner for 189, no 184. I think he's from Kazakhstan, but he got his nationality at the beginning of the year. He doesn't he doesn't know the national anthem for Kazakhstan. He's just Russian nationalist, but he just compete on a different country. I guess that's legal. You want to win a gold medal, you can make the team in your home country. You can just go to a different country.
If there's nothing stopping you.
That's what I'm thinking about, changing my nationality to Brazilian so I can get extra points at IBJJF.
Good idea.
Oh, Dervin De Nazario. Where you from? Brazil. What part? Downtown.
Downtown.
Okay, checks out. Like I was wondering why he has UAE. Maybe he has state. He lives there now instead of in Russia. Khamzat Chimaev, because he used to train in Sweden.
Really? That's interesting.
He used to train in Sweden because the same camp as Alexander Gustafsson, Hiro Latifi, trained out of there. Yeah, I can't remember who else used to train out of in there, Sweden. But that's where he trained under the coach. I don't know if he changed his coach now. Dude, if he wins, who's gonna stop Khamzat Chimaev? The Wolf.
Nobody for a bit, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean there have been like crazy story about his training. He trains so hard, like ragdolls everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like one time, there's a story about one time he walked through a feminist march. He walked out of there with his clothes was iron. That's a badass hit. You're like, damn, respect to that man. That's this crazy story you hear about that guy, man.
Yeah, man. Gosh.
The boogeyman checks it under his bed for Khamzat Chimaev. He seems like he's getting better and better. The tougher the competition get.
Yeah, there's no answers yet. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, he's 31, how much longer he'll be in, and if there will be an answer to his game. Who knows? I feel like there's not many right now. There's not many people who have a good answer for the Russian wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Craig Jones.
Wow. Yeah, Craig Jones. Yeah.
He's the only one that seems to be the answer because
Somehow.
he did it was Makachev with Alexander Volkanovski, the first one. Who was another one that he what's the name, the 170-pound champion?
Okay.
That's his name.
Yep.
He beat Belal Muhammad when he trained with the Russians.
Yeah.
With Khabib's team.
That is the funniest thing. That is so funny to me.
Yeah.
Craig Jones is just the anti-wrestling, anti-sambo.
Yeah. He somehow he figured it out. We'll see if there's a Magdalena can go up to 185. I also noticed Khamzat Chimaev looks bigger than Dricus du Plessis in like during the countdown.
I did notice that, yeah.
Considering that Khamzat Chimaev, he's in between there, 170 and 185 pounder. He can make 170, but he still looks bigger than him.
I agree. Yeah, he looked huge when they went over. Like I watched a video of him walking over and shaking du Plessis' hand, and yeah, he looked massive.
Yeah, and Dricus du Plessis looking like somebody that can fight 205 if he wanted to. He's not a small 185. Robert Whitaker used to be 170, or Kevin Gastelum used to fight 170, or Kevin Holland that still fights at 170. He like Dricus du Plessis is a big 185. I think Khamzat Chimaev looks bigger than him. Crazy.
Yeah,
Been bulking up since he been out. Hasn't competed since more Whitaker. I think November last year.
really, has been that long. That's
The Aaron Pickle, the wrestling phenom. I'm looking forward to see how he does in his first UFC fight. He's a co-main event. He's like one of those guys that the wrestling is good, but he is what you call, you live by the sword, you die by the sword when it comes to fighting. And sometimes he like too stubborn. Hopefully he has matured since then. But sometimes he like gets like in like a clip a little bit and he wants to like make it into a brawl. Even your clip, you don't think like clearly, or you don't move, your head just becomes like stationary. So you get the rock again. But when he like goes hard, he can go hard. Murphy, number 6. They're not feeding him any, like they're doing any favors.
No, I would say
They're
not.
number 6 for his first fight.
Right.
Because they have a F-Love before. But he pulled out of the fight.
Who
He's
did?
19-0. F-Love. He beat Aljamain Sterling last time. F-Love, 45. So he pulled out. He trains on the American top team. But Pico, man, I'm like excited to see how he does. He's like a big wrestling phenom. And like sometimes he's like too tough for his own good. Like back in 2022, I remember he was fighting and his shoulder dislocated, came out of place. It kept popping him back in and he just popping back out. So they considered that TKO. That's why he lost the fight.
Oh, okay.
But then other than that, he's a 3-5 winning streak. And before that shoulder injury, he has 6-5 winning streak in Bellator.
Dang. Dang. Yeah, that seems like a one-off or an unavoidable loss in that case. That's interesting. I mean, usually being really good at wrestling seems to bode really well. So hopefully he does all right.
Yeah. Well, his win, that's also impressive because you said that? Because most of his win KO, submission. He had 2 submissions, Anaconda, rear naked choke, KO, 1 decision, then TKO and TKO. Because he likes to box.
Really?
He was getting coached on their Freddie Roach at one point
Mhm.
for his boxing.
That's interesting. I mean, at least, sounds like he'll have a good defense if somebody tries to take him down, so he can keep it in boxing if he likes. And then if boxing doesn't work, should have a pretty good backup solution.
Yeah. He can use boxing to close the distance on somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Work
a
you
big
feint.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having something to distract him, give him some before trying to go in for a takedown, that's huge.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd be like a chrome grazing. It's painful to watch.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised that he had good because also he's now with Winkle John and Greg Jackson's training under him in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I think. Which they're pretty good with the striking. But I mean, they have Holly Holmes there, Michelle Watterson, Cowboy came out of there, Diego Sanchez came out of there. As far as striking,
Crazy to think most of those people are gone.
yeah, all of them retired except for Bones, Big Bones. Well, he's retired too.
Big Bones.
Yeah, John Jones,
Yeah.
Big Meat. But he said he started jump back in the testing pool for the UFC. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
What the
Dude.
fuck, man?
Yeah, for real. That's insanity.
That's an annoying girlfriend. You like, hey, just leave me alone.
For real. Yeah, that's
Leave
no
her alone.
lie.
It's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
No longer interested.
I mean, Dana's already said no to the White House, and then what's his name? Aspinall. Aspinall's like, no, I have no interest in fighting him. He's a disappointment.
Yeah, why would you want to fight a retired person?
Yeah, that's so dumb. Truly, especially that soon after you retired, so that you could avoid this one guy. That's how to make it less obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, there's another suspicion. Maybe the accident that happened. Remember the video of him in the car crash? I don't know if he will be able to facing some legal action for that. Maybe he was taking some time. I'll see how it will develop. Because like if he was gonna go to some jail time stuff, like he wasn't gonna be able to fighting those battle out of court. How long it will take before he can go back to the cage. Also, it seems like he was running away from Aspinall because he was refusing to even mention his name.
I agree. Yeah, it's just that so annoying to me. I don't know.
He just wants to like as much cash as possible.
Right. Yeah, it would have been fun to watch anymore.
Yeah.
Not after you hold it up for months at least.
Yeah. Aspinall has been a champion for most of John Jones' reign as a champion.
Really? Yeah.
So like, come on, like it's not happening.
Right.
Like it's just like cutting from somebody else's food table for Aspinall. Because I mean the guy he's beating everybody else, like holding on the division.
Right.
But we shall see. Dana White did confirm that UFC will be going to the White House July 4th, 2026. That's no longer a rumor. Speaking of the UFC big deal with Paramount Plus. $7.7 billion for 7 years.
That's crazy numbers.
Mm-hmm. Is good for the fans. Do you think the fans speaking about paying $18 a freaking pay-per-view compared to going away from the pay-per-view era? Do you think that was a factor of the negotiation? Paramount is not going to have pay-per-views.
Right. I feel like it's got to, Was it 80? I thought it was 90. I thought it was 90 for pay-per-views. I
I think like it
haven't
was.
bought them. Like, I haven't watched a pay-per-view in a long time because of that. Well, other than going over to a buddy's place, but like personally buying a pay-per-view, nah.
Yeah, and some might be hit and miss too.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Some of the cards just aren't good, and some of them are really good. So
Yeah,
it's hard to
especially
know.
that ones overseas because these are different time zones, so the fighters aren't used to fighting in that time zone either.
Yeah. I wonder if you'll be able to watch the matches back on Paramount.
If not be able to watch it in Paramount, they still be able to be in the UFC library.
Yeah.
Either. Yeah, man. Which makes me wonder what does that mean for the fighters that are correspondents for ESPN? What's gonna happen to them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they're going to a different network. There's CBS and Paramount.
Right. That's a good question.
Because I think Dustin Poirier just got hired by ESPN for that. Also, freaking ESPN, they bought NFL Network.
Did they really?
Yeah, last week I think.
Wow, they're making big moves.
Yeah, because there's more fans for NFL than there will be for UFC.
By far. Yeah. No, I mean, UFC, I don't even feel like compares to NFL at this point.
Because that's what I found interesting. How much Paramount Plus pay for the UFC for 7-year deal? Do you know what Champions League is in soccer?
I've heard of it. I've heard the term, but
That one has like 10 times the views each year compared to the Super Bowl in the Champions League final. It's like the top teams in Europe play in that league.
right.
Paramount Plus got the rights for 6 years for Champions League. They pay $1.5 billion. And they pay 7.7 for the UFC. Yeah. That's like, what the
How does that make sense? That's crazy.
Yeah. Those numbers don't make sense.
No. Huh.
But maybe because Champions League is not year round as the UFC. The UFC is year round. There's no
That's true.
season.
Yeah.
Champions League is only from I think September, October to May.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That is quite a bit different there. I don't know. Still.
But that's a big jump. Almost like it's more than triple.
Yeah.
Quadruple actually. Of what they paid for the Champions League, right?
Right.
For 7-year deal.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Is Champions League, does like one entity own that?
The UEFA.
Okay.
They call it UEFA. That's the European Football Association. They have sold the rights for streaming in the United States, the CBS and Paramount.
Streaming in the United States, though, right?
Yes, only the United States.
That's probably your difference.
Mm-hmm. But I would.
Do you think that the Champions League has more views than UFC in the US?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
That might be your difference right there.
Because you have more games in Champions League than you have matches. Because as far as the deal was 13 pay-per-views, like cars, that like big main cars, and 30 fight nights. That's part of the deal for the UFC. So it's 43 rather. 8 weeks deal.
Yeah, I feel like that could be your difference though, because I mean, just soccer in America is not nearly as big as most other things. I mean, I know it's the biggest everywhere else.
Yeah, considering that the World Cup is going to be here next year, it's not that big.
That'll probably draw some, I would imagine.
That's probably why they put the deal there because I think they
Yeah.
work on this deal in 2022 for the Champions League, and they have it all the way through 2030.
Okay.
But that's a lot of money, $7.7 billion.
That really is. So I
Consider
wonder,
this.
does that mean the fighters start getting paid more?
Hopefully, you will think. You will think. Also, if it's the rights here in the United States, how would they work the deals international
I'm
for
curious
fight?
about that. Yeah. Yeah. Because they got to be trying to push UFC more international. I'm curious what the views are. Because obviously there's a lot of Russians in there. But I mean, there's quite a few champions from Europe even. But I'm curious how many views they get outside of the US.
Yeah, but still, like in the UK, it's big over there.
Right. Yeah.
The UFC has a hard time in the Asian market because of one
Right. I mean, that
FC.
makes sense.
I don't know how they'll be able to break into that market. They're big in
I would,
Brazil.
yep. Yep, that's true. The Asian market, I would think they would have to start having events in Asia with, like, Asian champions.
But
Because,
there's not many.
right,
Other than Sewen Lee.
right, that's true.
The last one they had there was Singapore was when the Korean Zombie got retired by Max Holloway. He KO him.
Yeah,
That's the last one they had there.
yeah. I mean, even if they just had events in Asia, but not, I mean, just have as many, like, Asian fighters as they can, like, pump them in there. I feel like that typically pulls in a lot of viewers,
Yeah.
because, I mean, they go to Abu Dhabi, they get tons of Russians.
Yeah.
They go to Brazil, obviously, there's tons of Brazilians. And people like to see their home people fight.
Yeah.
So
Doing big too.
right, exactly.
Man. I don't know how. See, I don't know how they'll do their deals as far as the like international.
Yeah. No, that would be interesting to know.
I had a thought that would escape my head. Wow. When we were talking about that. Like the Asian market. And different markets that they have like for the like I think they have a UFC in China. The Sam Willie was a poster girl for it.
Really?
How crazy that Dricus Du Plessis is the last African champion. Dricus Du Plessis. No Camaro, no Adesanya,
Right.
no Ngannou.
Yeah.
Dricus Du Plessis is the last African champion standing. Fighting against a Russian wolf.
Yeah. I am very curious about the matchup, to be honest. It'll be very interesting to see.
What does it say about Dricus Du Plessis legacy if he does make it through Khamzat Chimaev?
What to say about his legacy? I mean, that's quite a feat that nobody else has accomplished yet.
Mm-hmm. Because he had beat Adesanya, beat Strickland twice, beat Rob Whitaker. I mean, he had beat a lot of people coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Tavares, Darren Till, Derek Bronson on the way up. I mean, if he makes it through Khamzat Chimaev, the Wolf, like who else will be in that weight class?
Yeah. No, I mean he would be sitting pretty if he can finish this one.
Yeah, I mean his legacy, like he kind of cleared the division if he does make it through him because Sean Strickland's still in there in the rankings, but he already beat him twice. That's out of the question. But the first one was a close one with Strickland. It could have gone either way.
Really?
Yeah, but the second one was decisive, like decisive one. Israel Adesanya beat him RDR. That's the only guy
Hmm.
I can think of. Just Imabov in there too.
Mm.
But I think RDR, Rinder Derriere, is more of a danger than
Yeah,
Imavov. So another guy that's coming up the ranking is Anthony Hernandez that he fought this weekend against Roman Dolizet. He was dominating in grappling.
Hmm.
Finished him in the rear naked choke. He was devastating rear naked choke. Have you ever seen kids whenever they're fighting each other, one grabs by the other one's dragging across the floor? That's what he did to Dolizet. He got a rear naked choke, stood up, and drug him around the cage.
My God.
He tapped out. I was like, no. Because at one point he had him hurt, and Herb didn't step in to stop the fight. But it was the end of the round. They thought it was the end. He finished him.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably he got pissed off. Like, okay, next round, I'll kill him. Make it decisive. Hernandez.
Beat him physically, emotionally.
Yeah. The only thing he had left, just put a wedgie and just put it around his neck and pull him to make it
Yeah, for real.
more embarrassing. He's in a winning streak too. The guy that he fought this weekend against Roman Dolizet. I know you remember the Roman Dolizet. He's the guy that beat Anthony Smith at light heavyweight, even though he fights at 185.
Okay. Which matchup is this? Is this weekend?
No, that was last weekend. Anthony
Oh, okay.
Hernandez versus Roman Dolizet.
Okay.
But he's one of the guys that's in the ranking there. He's in top 10. He's 7. He moved to 7 after beating Roman Dolizet. Because Roman Dolizet was 9th ranked, but he dropped out of the top 10
Okay.
after he lost to Anthony Hernandez this weekend. And with Robert Whitaker also dropped to 8th because he lost to RDR. And then the Ritter. I can't believe Ashton Adesanya is still ranked 4th.
That is a bit strange, yeah.
He lost against Imavov, lost against Duplessis, lost against Strickland, right? 3 fights right there that he's lost. And he's still ranked 4th in his weight class.
Yeah, I don't fully understand how the rankings work.
When was the last time he won?
Feels like it's been quite a long time.
2023 against Pereira.
Dang.
Yeah. And that's coming off a loss. He lost in 2022.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Dang.
So since November 2024,
Dang. That's
it had been decision, submission, and TKO. The last 3 losses. It's been like getting worse and worse.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how he's still ranked 4th.
You know, I was wondering if maybe the reason DDP, like, it was close with Sean the first time and like not the second time. I wonder if that's because of his style, because his style is so like off the wall. I wonder if it's just not consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. GSP broke it down and said that DDP, he has like a karate leap in and out, in and out. That's able to like hard to measure distance. So Strickland, he usually like kind of like a upright stance and try to close the distance by volume. Well, if somebody's moving so much and they have better cardio than you, it's hard to keep up the pace with the volume.
It's interesting. Yeah, I have a
For some
hard
reason,
time
I
seeing
want to
this.
say this Sean Strickland, he was on antibiotics the second one. So the coach was telling him pull like to pull harder, but he was like he wasn't pulling the trigger. He just like barely fighting, so he
Yeah.
didn't stop the fight.
Yeah, those will knock you right out. Those are rough.
Yeah, it's no joke. A freaking workout is a nightmare. Let alone imagine a competition.
Right. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. 5 rounds.
Yeah. Was that in South Africa? The
Was
fight?
it? I don't know. Australia.
Okay. I remember it's abroad. The only 2 guys that are left in there in the division is Anthony Hernandez and RDR. RDR looks scary because he's a nasty kickboxer. It'll be interesting how he will do with Draco Duplessis. Striking match. And also like interesting whenever Whitaker he went against him, they made it to a striking match. They said that Robert Whitaker and Alexander Volkanovski, they are Australian national champions in wrestling. Yeah, they are. That's part of their like their accolades they have for their resume. But the funny thing was, Makachev was saying like Australia doesn't have a wrestling team. Like what wrestling? You guys don't have a wrestling team. You're national champion of what? You don't have a wrestling team. It's not like a Russian wrestling team.
That's wild.
Oh man, that's offensive. What? You don't have a wrestling team. But another remember like when he was going against RDR, Robert Whitaker, there's very seldom you see like they were grappling and mostly striking. And which is frustrating when you see somebody that they get favor on the grappling part, but refuse to grapple in a match.
Yeah, yeah, just not using their strength. Is that what you mean?
I wonder if they're just conserving energy for if you're on a long 5 rounds match.
Could be, but usually, I mean, I would think your strength, something you're used to, is probably a bit better for conserving energy.
Yeah. One example would be Romero. Your Romero wrestling is off the chart. He refuses to. He just rather conserve energy and explode. Conserve energy and explode instead of using his grappling to ragdoll somebody.
That is, yeah, that's it.
Especially you have nice because there's a difference. Somebody that is a good grappler but has struggle in takedowns, take somebody to the ground because it's like really hard to get somebody down, especially no gi. If you take down, you have takedowns, but if you have good takedowns, get it to the ground and you just ragdoll somebody. Why not? What do you think? Now we're speaking about grappling. What do you think about like the guard pull part and the takedowns? Like for somebody's on the ground, like in the UFC BJJ, they want the person is down to stand up, or will be a better one the person that's standing up to engage with the person that's on the ground. Which should be a better approach for the grappling as far as like a sport?
So stand the guy who pulled guard up, or push for the guy who's standing to push the pace. Is that what you're
Right.
saying?
Yeah, to engage the person on the ground.
I have the unsatisfactory answer that kind of depends. I feel like sometimes the guy on the ground is pushing the pace, whereas the guy standing is running away a little bit too much, looking too much for a perfect entrance, in which case I feel like the guy standing should be the one encouraged to get after it. But there can also be the instances of somebody just, pulling guard and they're stalling for sure. Like they're just not opening up, not going after anything. In which case, I feel like they're in the fault.
Yeah,
So
just like a
I don't
dog, just
know.
waiting for get his belly rub or something like that. Just
Right,
laying there
exactly.
instead of trying
Yeah,
at least get a chin to chin, get a de la Riva or something like that.
yeah. Because to me, it's all of that is part of grappling. Because yeah, there's the flip side where a lot of, especially with some of the bigger guy matches, when it's almost exclusively wrestling and never goes down. I mean, that can be less exciting too than a match that's fully engaged on the ground. So I mean, I don't know. There's situations for both, I think.
And then, like, of course, it's both sides. Like both of them down, like whether stand somebody up or make the other person engage. If it's exclusively jiu-jitsu, of course, you want the person standing up to engage. But if it's like a MMA in which you get like kind of really not really takedowns because the person's on the ground is not really trying to take the other person down. They just go to the ground. So like make it look like the other guy is not engaging. That's difference because you get water for takedowns. If you cannot take somebody down and you just lay on the ground, hoping for the best, mm, is it's not fair for that person that standing up because like I have my good takedown defense and all that like it doesn't work because you're on the ground, you want me to engage.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. No, in the event of MMA, yeah. No, I agree with that.
It's not good for like the sport as an entertainment aspect.
Right. Right. It's more likely for something to happen if both people are standing than if one pulls guard.
Yeah. And then just kicking like person's leg.
Right.
If you're not good like at takedowns, will it be better just man, getting to the bag is hard. It's difficult. And trying to do while standing up is even more difficult because the person can move a lot faster when
Right.
they're standing,
Yes.
which make it impressive how Damian Maia was able to do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's just like a backpack immediately. In all just fundamentals.
It really is crazy to see when somebody makes some certain aspect their focus, like how far they can go with it with just fundamentals. It's fine tuning and it's timing of those same moves that everybody does, but it's just doing them at the right times and in the right order. Yeah, it's crazy to see how much difference that makes.
And he wasn't like a freak of nature like um Roger Gracie. Because Roger Gracie is a freaking monster. But Damian Maia didn't look like a not monster whenever he was grappling at 170. His fundamentals were just crisp. I like just that. But it's interesting to see like some people that just freaking um Marcelo Garcia as another example. His arm drags were lethal. To get people's
The
to look like I'm
hand
playing
placement for stuff like that is pretty crazy.
yeah. Um it's good to see also like being people that they're like that good in their craft. Some people hate it because they're like, oh, that's the one trick pony. Something like Ronda Rousey, when her armbar was they just snatching bitches' arms everywhere she went.
Yeah, but if it's working,
Yeah,
if they can just do it to a level that nobody can match, it's hard to fault them. You really can't fault them.
yeah. The initial game is self defense and attack. If you get good at your attacks and then able to defend it, it must be good.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And that's evolved the sport. Like in jiu-jitsu, that's evolved the sport because 10 years ago, not a lot of people were into leg locks. Look at the leg lock game now. Now the sport evolved to not just leg locks, back attacks, other attacks the same way because everybody's doing the same thing now.
Yeah, you have to be versed in as much as possible. At least know how to avoid it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I
make
mean,
the guards more interesting too. Different
right.
guards
Yep. Yeah,
along the
because
way.
the guard has to adapt as well for like leg lockers and for people who like going into leg locks, but also for people who like to avoid leg locks who are playing guard. They got to hold their feet different too.
Yeah. Yeah, also another thing was a mount was considered a dominant position when leg lockers came along, and that wasn't the case anymore.
Mm.
They were just going legs attacks when they're
Yeah, it is cool how that's made things evolve and develop.
yeah. And I look at those same leg lockers. For example, Gordon Ryan is going for the heading arm, just shoulder crunch from the top.
Hmm. Yep. Crazy pressure. Yep.
And he's going for the back from there. And doesn't make
You-
the game evolve.
right. You got Nicky Rod, who his thing is getting to the back and just squeezing.
Hmm.
Oh, I would not. I can imagine you feel your neck popping when he starts really squeezing.
And not just your neck, it's your face bones crushing too. It's because he doesn't go for the neck, he goes for anything below the nose.
Right.
Your jaw just crushing.
Yep.
I noticed something recently too with the as far as the rear naked choke because my arms are not that long. Before I used to go for a rear naked choke, I used a cross face to push the head into the choke and try to adjust it to be able to get that rear naked choke. Or see somebody in the gym that does the same thing, but he pull his elbow across to adjust the rear naked choke and then come back and finish it.
Hmm.
Because you're using one arm to push the arm across to get rear naked choke, and you always have a hard time getting the choke in. You use the other arm to pull it in to one
Yeah.
and then lock it on the other side once you get it using your own shoulder.
I mean, it's super simple, but I bet that does work pretty well.
It also like keeps the head in place too, especially with the cross face.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Because always the way I was taught was whenever you try to go for a rear naked choke, you punch the back of the ear to get your hand through. But you
Okay.
always fighting this right here because especially two hands on the arm, on the shoulder arm, trying to fighting it. It's like make it difficult. But if you were able to grab your own arm above to sink it in.
Also, probably provides some protection for the choking arm. If you get it over there quick enough, I mean, they're going to be grabbing, but they might grab your non-choking arm, which is fine. It's better.
Yeah. And you can also switch it too.
Hmm.
If you're able to get it well on there, switch it on there and
True.
click to the other side. Especially if you're pushing the face across, this side of the neck is gonna be open. Boom. By the time you switch it to the side, you're already locking the choke.
You're right.
It's like a reverse Uno card on the chokes. Reverse Uno card for
Yeah.
chokes. But that's something I've been working on recently from the back attacks. And also another thing I watched recently, shout out to the Silver Fox, about the regular seat belt when you had the bag. Don't worry so much about locking in the body triangle. I usually scoot my hips back a little. So you change. Remember, I was talking about the position that they call the gulag. We have somebody's seat belt and you're on your knees and you rock the back a little, so they make your opponent sit back like a 45 degrees while you have a seat belt on there, and they just like having a hard time. I Because they cannot turn one way or another. If they turn one side, they get caught on the crucifix, and the other side just go to a north south from there, kind of like that. But instead of I had the seat belt and scooting the hips back a little, so making it rock back and start walking my legs up the body for the arm bar or other attacks on there or the triangle from the back. If not, if the person decides to come up, sinking the rear naked choke because he's right there. Not getting so fixated on locking in the lower body.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, I have a hard time with that. I mean, just my legs being short.
Hmm.
Yeah, locking that up is rare, but that is interesting.
Yeah, because it's easy for you to climb out the body and do other attacks than just that rear naked choke that you want to get. Because the rear naked choke is going to be there. The thing is about it is if his neck or if the top of his head is touching your chin, there's no rear naked choke. You have to be ear to ear.
Yes.
So you quit going for rear naked choke if his head's down there. And from there, just try to attack arms or try and lock your triangle to isolate the arm or readjust them back to your back
Yeah.
attacks.
That's true. Yeah, if they start sliding down that much, then yeah, I definitely that's reverse triangle territory.
But some people just focus on rear naked choke, rear naked choke, rear naked choke.
Hmm.
Or they just, and then the person just turn around and then you just try to keep the back and then you just fall off because this person used tripod and you just
Yeah.
lost the whole thing. Instead of scooting back with your
Yeah.
hips and getting chest to back, which is ideally you want to have a good back attack, chest to back, and get your hips higher up the body to be able to include your legs for attacks.
Yeah. And I mean, if you can get a leg over the arm, that's a win right there. I mean, if you can limit their two arms down to just one with your legs, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I also like to get his arm out with the seat belt. A lot of people, whenever they get the seat belt, they keep the arms close right here. But if you're able to lift it over here, you're able to finish the armbar back here. It's hard for it to defend. There's
Yep.
no hitchhiker from back there.
Yeah.
That's what prevents him from turning towards you. Because if the arms are here, they get turned to you and they end up in your guard. But if the arms up here, it's a wedge for them. Stopping.
Yeah. I mean, and out there, your arm is so weak. There's really no you can't resist nearly as much if your arm's flared out like that.
Mhm.
So
That's the reason why Kimura's and Americanos work with that position. It's just like another thing that this Fox show was from the CBL position when you have like a when you climb over the arm, when you have your ankles crossed, the only thing you have to do is just push and the arm just gonna come right up. It's just like you have okay, so you have a seatbelt, so you went over the head, let go of the head, so you're isolating the arm itself, and you have a triangle over the shoulder and the torso. And from there, the only thing you just have to scissor your legs away from you, and the arm will just immediately just come up and just finish the armbar from there. Instead of trying like to fight it, like fight it. You know how you try to like kind of like a Kimura trying to get the arm out. But if you just sits on your legs away from you, his body's gonna slide down and the arms are gonna get left behind. Finish your armbar from back there, behind his head.
Okay. Huh.
Especially bigger guys, arms are hard to finish.
Yeah. No, that's the truth.
So by the time you like try and get it extended, these wiggle itself out or just hard to bend their arm. Especially freaking people have meat arms because they don't have full range of motion on the elbows. So the arms literally right here. Just try to do an armbar on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. I can't even straighten that out myself.
Yeah. Good luck in the armbar. That's what DC was talking about whenever he had short arms, stubby arms, and he had no neck. That's why he was never submitting in
Hmm. There's nothing to.
no nothing, no options. And his grappling was good too.
Yeah. Very.
There's another thing, other news, back injuries. The coach for Heath Pedigo from Daisy Fresh had an eye injury recently. And do a GoFundMe for him for his surgery that he had to get. Is That's a new fear unlocked now when I saw that. I'm getting eye injury that bad.
Exactly. Do you know what happened?
Now, according to the GoFundMe, said that he was recently teaching a seminar with suffered a severe eye injury that required emergency surgery. Did somebody's toe went into his eye? Because
Gotta
usually when
wonder.
it's like that, it's like a lot of pressure
Right.
into your eye.
I mean, yeah, the eyes are so delicate. I mean, it could be something like that. Plus, in a like a dirty environment like that, typically like grappling,
Yeah.
you could get lots of stuff in your eye that would not be good.
Yeah, especially like you can get infected fast, and plus the injury that you already have. But also it is that usually when it's like eye surgeries like that, emergency is because of the pressure that the eye suffer due to that trauma that happened to it. I can't or unless he had a fracture in his orbital bone in the floor of his eye socket collapse. That might be another reason. But it has to be a hard hit to have the fracture like that. Do you remember Avery? I think his wife is the one that did that GoFundMe. Ashley Risher.
Really?
I might be mistaken, but his wife's name is Ashley, I think. But man, that's rough. And considering how influential his team in for us, like not just in the small circuit, but also like in Worlds, Pan Ams. They have won Pan Ams as a team, and they don't have like a big guy, like a big poster guy that has like one thing for the team. You know, people gravitate towards the team. Consider they're not like a direct lineage, like a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu team either.
What was that?
They don't have like a direct. Doesn't seem like they have a direct lineage. Like for example, they have like a big like Gracie or like a Machado or something like that
Right.
in their for their gym.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, they just got a bunch of killers.
Yeah, and they started. Was it Chicago? They started is like a old factory or something like that.
Something like yeah. Yeah.
They said the name is Stacy Fresh.
Right. Well, it was a laundromat.
That's what it was. A
Yeah.
laundromat. And look at them now.
Yeah. Was it Chicago? I thought it was a small town. I thought it was smaller than that.
Let's look it up. Let's use the internet. Speaking of internet, do you know that AOL dial-up is going it's going to stop in their business next month? I know they were still in business.
Dial-up was still in business?
AOL dial-up, yeah, they're cutting off their services next month.
Dang. I'm gonna have
No,
to brace for impact. I'll lose all my functionality.
no, I had to change my server for my MySpace for next month.
Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Damn, humble beginning. 1997. That's when it started.
Wait, when?
Heath Pedigo founded PSF in 1997, and a team initially trained in a laundromat that had the sign reading Daisy Fresh.
Dang, that's longer than I thought.
30 years.
Yeah.
No, at least 30 years. I mean, halfway years.
Yeah, I mean, it's approaching, sure, but like not even close.
It's closer to 30 than it is to 20. If you, as you look at the numbers. Yeah. For some reason, I thought they were not as old.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, I was thinking it was a lot newer than that.
Maybe because the documentary series, that's probably what we thought it was.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, it's definitely that. But
I think I'll say American Jiu-Jitsu. That's probably what they'll have, like a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu lineage.
they say they're American Jiu-Jitsu.
The documentary series, the series was Daisy Fresh, an American Jiu-Jitsu story.
Okay,
But when they're just like a Jiu-Jitsu gym, like in the United States, or like American Jiu-Jitsu, consider themselves
right,
American Jiu-Jitsu consider instead of the regular BJJ.
right. I mean, they do or did plenty of IBJJF. So
I mean, if you want to show yourself that your system works, that's the
that's true.
would that consider the gold standard?
Right. Yeah.
IBJJF, Pan Am's, would that be considered the Olympics for Jiu-Jitsu?
Maybe.
Because
Maybe.
judo has Olympics like as their world, but maybe IBJJ is more considered the worlds of the sport.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess that might be it. I don't know. Like maybe as far as gi, I would say yeah, it's the Olympics for sure.
Yeah,
No gi though. I mean, there's getting to be a lot bigger competitions.
this seems like it's a different sport altogether. No gi.
It really, yeah, I agree. I guess a lot of it because it's molding, it's combining so much with wrestling. I think it's just becoming grappling, not jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
And
I feel like that's why.
also the arena is changing as well. Not just the sport itself, but the arena not using the
Right.
pin, the ball, the
Hmm.
different areas, hardcore jiu-jitsu, like the guys that were wrestling on couches. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Craig Jones. So like,
Well, yeah, 'cause I think there was too much stalling happening. There was too much running away happening. So they're having to adapt the arenas instead of the rules. Because I mean, you can do rules, but still you're limited what you can do, and still have it be grappling or jiu-jitsu. So it seems like the arena is like the next step to doing that.
yeah. You keep the action going instead of stopping, resetting. Did the person get reset in that right position, or did the person move last second to make it look like it was that position? So when they get reset, they get it in a more advantageous position or hold.
Yep. Yeah, way too often it would happen like somebody would shoot in for a single leg or a double leg, and it looks like it's finally going to go on the ground, and then they just hop out of bounds. Like that can't happen in the pit.
Yeah. That's what ADCC, they used to just go into the freaking stance and continue grappling. Well, yeah, it makes it different. Do you think CJI will become that? Like that Nogi tournament to go to like once a year?
Maybe for like the actual professionals.
Hmm.
The problem is it is CJI, it's an invitational, so I mean you're pretty limited on the number of people that are going.
Yeah. It's not like you can sign up for it.
Right. Right. I mean if I think it's probably the most prestigious right now to be invited to, but I think ADCC still has like, although it's not yearly, I think
Hmm.
that's like the one to go to
Yeah.
for most.
You get the format of long periods too. It's not like the other ones. They have smaller periods. They have 15 minutes. And you have invitational, not invitational, but you have exhibition matches as well. Who's number one? But if you were to get yourself into who's number one, do you think you'll be able to get into CJI or big money matches?
It's a stepping stone. Yeah. Um,
Get yourself out there.
right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think who's number one has enough prestige and enough views that yeah, you start getting into that, people are going to start looking at you more for sure.
diehards that do have the flow
Right.
plus
Yep.
subscription. Keep up with different events. Because very seldom the fight to win. Do you see anybody like going from there to who's number one and or into ADC?
Trials for
Mhm.
ADCC, but yeah, no, not necessarily.
But no, from there to who's number one. You have to like trials. I think Pego they won worlds in Nogi as well in BGF. If I'm not mistaken, last year. I remember they had a bunch of purple belts that were like nasty in there, like for for their team. But they have been a team that a lot of people talk about because you have the original, the Gracies, then you have Temple and Machado, the Jiu-Jitsu. Then Daisy Fresh came along. No Hansel Gracie affiliate like Dana Her. They just like made their own way, living the American dream. But then it's unfortunate that he had an injury.
Yeah, very. Yeah, I mean that school has taken a couple knocks. I mean, Andrew Wiltsey going off his rocker. I mean, I feel like that
Yeah.
was a pretty hard knock for that school. Because he was really he was kind of the face. He was the guy
Hmm.
that they had that just it's a wizard with his knee slice pass, his guard. I mean, he was very very good.
He reminded me
But
of Gary Tonin
I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
as a grappler.
Yeah, very action packed. Very get after it.
So Die Hard. He is really entertaining as well.
His ability to think.
No, he's really entertaining to watch him like
Oh
that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I agree.
Was it Jeff Glover like that too?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like yeah, Jeff Glover was more unorthodox than
It's freaking. Jeff Glover would consider like a cowboy. They just go all out, see what's going on. It's not as a
and just
methodological.
yeah, and just wreck some big names doing some crazy stuff that nobody expected.
What the fuck is donkey guard?
And why is that working for him?
Yeah, it looks like a horrible position for you to be in. Still find a way to just tag from there.
I wonder if part of it is like nobody has experience attacking that, so it's like, what do you do?
Is it donkey guard because he's stubborn as hell? Or then actually the position itself as a donkey?
Or it
That's
makes you
probably
look like an ass.
yeah, true. That's another one too. Because he works, he works. He doesn't look like an ass for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to still compete or do you think he's retired? Jeff Glover.
Feel like he's got to be close to done, but
Yeah,
42.
yeah. You don't see that many matches left for him.
He hasn't been super active lately, has he?
Last time I saw, he lost a match against Uriah Faber. I think had a back injury or so. But he lost against Uriah Faber. He got submitted by him, and that was last year or the one
Yeah, I
before
kind of
that.
remember that. Yeah, yeah. That's the problem with getting older. Is the injuries are harder to recover from.
Yeah, they're more nagging than actually you getting better. You
Yeah,
actually, instead of getting better, you're getting better health wise. That's a fight
right.
you have to
Yeah,
go against. But CGI too, like they announced some of the last week. I think they announced that the teams, New Wave will have. I know that Mika is gonna be New Wave.
that is interesting. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, for some reason I thought he would be more Atos because Atos is competing as well
Yeah,
under Andrea, but
yeah.
no, he's competing with New Wave. Who else? They have 10th Planet. Is it Gio Martinez?
Nice.
He's gonna be going with 10th Planet, representing 10th Planet.
That's cool. This will be a really cool showdown.
Huh? What's his name? I can't remember his name now.
I don't remember that. I don't remember his name.
Joseph.
Okay.
He's with them. because he was a was he a semifinalist? I think he was a semifinalist with he lost against Levi Leary Jones in the semis, but he Joseph Chen, that's his name. He's really good. He's a nasty guard. Nicky Rao, of course. I can't remember his name.
So their names, to be honest.
Yeah, Atos. Is that Felipe? Was it Duarte? Ken Duarte? It's a lot of heavyweights, heavy hitters. What's the weight limit for the quintet?
Gotta be up there.
That's a question. Then you have Pedigo. Then you got Lang Lagals. He's the one that Levi Larry Jones substitute because he had an injury.
Mhm.
I want to say it was knee injury.
Yeah,
I was looking forward to see him. See too.
me too.
Unfortunately, the European Raiders. I don't know many of them. And then you have the Gorillas, which is more like American Jiu-Jitsu. USA. USA, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Ecuador. But you have that Lesser King, PD3, Padani. He's gonna be in their team. And of course, the promoter, Craig Jones. So that'd be interesting.
It's so fun to watch. Oh my gosh. Looking forward to that one.
And you remember the format that he talks about? It's gonna be like a Royal Rumble. It's gonna be like a 90 seconds break between opponents.
Oh, really? No, I hadn't heard that.
And the coach is going to call in who's gonna come in next. He does like a
Dude, that's so
formation.
cool. That is so cool. It
So
adds the
soon,
strategy to it too.
oh yeah. Especially like you see something in one guy, like, oh, I can see this guy being like doing better with this guy.
Right,
So
exactly.
like 90 seconds, he'll be a timer going off. Like as soon as like somebody gets eliminated, they go somebody in. But it'll make it interesting how both of the guys get eliminated. How they going to strategize who's coming next?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Because like, if that would be considered a cellmate, it's like, oh, who's gonna be next then?
Yeah.
So
You,
that's
are you guessing who the other team is sending? And it's like,
yeah.
gosh.
It's like a rock paper scissors.
Yeah. Send in my worst guy. They send in their best. He's done.
Because that's part of the strategy in the quintet. You have somebody really good, your best guy, and somebody stall him out. That takes away your best guy. Because you don't think the other person has to do to get submitted. And you stall out that best person on their team.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be so fun. That's
Yeah. Looking forward to it. And
yes,
then
sir.
crazy. I'm not sure if it's true or not, if it's him trolling, but Craig Jones announced that he was going to be the alternate for New Wave. Because one of the guys, I'm not sure if one of the guys got injured. The Jiu-Jitsu giant, which is that one? Big Dan. He's injured. So that's why he's coming in as an alternate. Craig Jones said he's taking his spot for him.
There ain't no way. That would be crazy.
Because he already has a match, right?
Yeah, he does.
Against Gable Stevenson.
Yeah.
That's a super fight. So he's going to go through the quintet and do the super fight? Can't be real. It can't be real. Because that's,
Craig Jones is just crazy enough to do something that's like off the wall. It's hard to call him out on bluffs because he doesn't so much of the time.
yeah. It's some stuff like for real. Like he looks like he's trolling, but he's like doing it for real. That's the Gabby match last year.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that'll be, man, Ryan will be pissed if that's the case.
Yeah, he disowned Danaher.
But yeah. He takes off his own belt off. He will like take off his black belt. He self-promote himself in his own gym to black belt. Question: Gordon Ryan is a black belt in no-gi jiu-jitsu. He has a team now. He does a lot of gi jiu-jitsu. And he wears his black belt in there. Do you think a black belt in no-gi jiu-jitsu should wear a black belt in gi?
Well, I think he trains. He at least used to train gi with Danaher, I think. And I don't know, especially in his case, I have no doubt that he would absolutely dominate most black belts in gi. You know, even that not being his game, I confidently could say he would match up against most anybody.
Yeah,
Because when Margali started training with them, he put on the gi and trained with Margali for a little bit. So there's that as well.
true. But talking like overall, like or like a different person other than just going Ryan that was like a straight just like for example, American Jiu Jitsu black belt if we try training in gi, would we consider a black belt as well in gi if they have not been training in
I mean, it's hard to say because the ranks don't usually work like that.
yeah.
Would I say some wrestler? You know, that's not even a good analogy either.
Yeah, because
Um,
wrestling is a different sport. It's mostly
right.
standing. It's not even on the ground. Or like judo black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt. You think they should be wearing a black belt in jiu-jitsu or I know the other way around? It shouldn't be the case. Like a black belt in jiu-jitsu should not be wearing a black belt in judo.
Yeah, that's
You get
correct.
rock.
Right. Yeah.
If you are a high level grappler, like in jiu-jitsu, and you have proven yourself in grappling, I think you should be able to wear it because because to a certain extent you have to train. For example, like Gordon Ryan, he trained with Danaher, but also the lineage is from Enzo Gracie, which they were the gi in the Blue Basement. They train in there with the gi. But if it's exclusively, for example, American Jiu Jitsu or cash wrestling, I'm not sure if you should be wearing a black belt with the gi because it's kind of like a different sport than Brazilian Jiu Jitsu itself.
I could see that.
Because you don't consider yourself a grandmaster in checkers, and then you play chess like, oh, I'm a grandmaster in chess. No, it's different rules.
Right. Right. No, that's true. I could definitely see that. Like high level no gi guys could absolutely suck in the gi. Yeah, no, I think you got a good point there.
Because you slow him down in the game, like things that they're not able to see. Lapel and wrist hold, like the spider guard itself, it's so annoying for in the gi that you don't see things going on. And the guards might be trash once you go in the gi. If you want to start grabbing their leg pants,
Exactly.
because the guard's non-existent at that point. So the game is a different game itself.
Right. Far to
But if you're like high level, that you have like, for example, worlds, and then you place like high level in no gi, at one point you have to train in the gi to get faster in no gi. Because seeing an interview recently, Demetrius Johnson's DC, they're talking about that. Well, Demetrius Johnson, he likes the gi a lot more. He said for a match, I can't remember which match it was. He started training the gi. He felt so much faster in MMA because of course the game is two different things because the grips and things like that, but to move faster. But also the game is different. It's a different game because you have different grips and things like that. You pass the guard different in no gi that it's a lot more loose. You can move around, but in the gi you have to like be on your game to be able to pass somebody's game. But he talked about that, like you feel a lot faster. And he talk about back in the day when he was training in AKA, they all like they were forced to wear the gi because he was a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and what the practice was guerrilla jiu-jitsu. It's a different kind of jiu-jitsu they practice in there. I was on there, Dave Camarillo. I remember King Velasquez has black belt. Luke Rojo I think Luke Rojo wore the gi as well. When training, but exclusively they were training jiu-jitsu in the gi. Faster.
actually something just sorry if you
No, 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 you can.
so something at Battleborn, the gym I train at now, the coach has said before, like if you don't come to the gi classes, you're not getting promoted. So there's that as
Mhm.
well. If you come to the no-gi, obviously you'll get better. Like he's not encouraging you to not come to that, but he said the only way to really get promoted is if you come to gi jiu-jitsu consistently. Otherwise, you just won't. Because yeah,
Yeah, some gyms are like that. Probably because the game is more broad, even though some missions are frowned upon or illegal in the gi, but the game gets a little bit more complicated, even though some holds are illegal. Because it slows you down. See what your technique is, it really spaz out of things. You muscle into things. You cannot spaz, you cannot muscle out of things in the gi. You
yeah,
get stuck like a
you
Velcro.
can't bullshit through with athleticism in the
No,
gi.
no. You get folded in your own gi. That's all. Like I tell the guys at the gym, you have to like doesn't matter if you like gi or no gi, at least one day of the week you have to train the other one so you can get better on it. And most of the time, people like gravitate towards no gi because more fun things like you have more options to attack. But the gi itself makes you faster in no gi, and it makes you take more calculated risks. I don't like think in no gi you can defend the back. In gi, good fucking luck.
Dude, yeah, for real.
It's a nightmare getting stuck. Like one
Yeah,
time, Leonard he got me on and got my back, and he was doing like a crab ride. He had my legs up in the air with my back, and he grabbed my lapel, and he just pinned my hands behind my back. I was trying to escape, but I'm like, what the fuck? He just giggling. Like, it's like, damn it.
right. Oh, it really is. That's the thing. Like, I almost a lot of times the back is almost more of like a transitional thing in the no gi for me, but in the gi, oh, dude, I'm locking on to that. Like
Yeah.
those lapel chokes are unstoppable. Like I don't even
Mhm.
care if you get your fingers in there. I'm still cranking that,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm very likely gonna choke somebody out with.
Yeah. And also, like from the guard, be able to get your cross collar chokes, all that, baseball choke. When somebody try to
Yeah,
pass your
there's
guard
threats everywhere.
from the lapel. And you control the posture a lot easier. And it takes posture, like you keep talking about posture, but man, it takes posture into a different level when you're in the
Yeah,
gi. Because you have to deadlift your way out of there. And it's not like you know deadlift your way out of there because you pull him up with you at the same time. You have to like we'll break it down one by one. There's no bullshitting in there. Do you agree about promoting in the gi and not so much in the no gi?
yeah, yeah. I think so. I mean, I think it kind of works. I mean, most competitions are if you're in the gi, you have a belt system. If you're not in the gi, you just have beginner, intermediate, advanced, and you know where you are. I mean, your coach will tell you if you're really confused. So yeah, no, I don't see a problem with that.
And the bell is for your pants. In no gi, you don't have like it's a whole new
Right.
bell or hold your gi in place. And it seems like you have more option with leg locks, but in the MMA gym, leg locks can be dangerous because especially outside Ashi, you're getting punched in the face by somebody. They don't care about that leg being there because you leave your
Mhm.
face wide open. And then the leg locks are more of a transition rather than submission, unless you have a good like saddle or like honey hole position. Be able to get on the outside and get attack the legs from there. But other than that, in the nogi, doesn't really like that's the only thing that doesn't transfer into the gi version. But in the gi version, you can still be dominant in MMA and all those positions. The only thing is take away those grips. No, I don't think I have anything else for today. Do you have anything else you want to bring up? The only thing, another, I'll just remember about that. Another competition is happening is Real American Freestyle competition. It's also going to be August 30th, the same weekend as CGI 2.
Again,
Yeah. Yeah. CGI 2 is going to be a lot of more views because there will be YouTube and like other like streaming things. But they have like big wrestlers like Hendrickson is gonna be in there. He's the heavyweight champion and Heisman Trophy winner for the last NCAA's. Paul Nickel is gonna be competing in there, wrestling. Kennedy Blades, she's gonna be in there competing. Real Woods, he's a world team member right now. Versus Darian Caldwell, former being a NCAA back in the day, 2009. He's now he was with Bellator. I don't know who's maybe he's signed with PFL. Austin Gomez, he's one of the guys that's a slinger when it comes to uh, wrestling. He likes throwing people versus Palmer. I think it's Lance Palmer is his name. He was Ohio State wrestler. I think he was a 4-time All-American. Sarah Hilderman, she's coming out of retirement, and it's a female wrestler. She wrestled for King University. She was a Olympic gold medalist in Paris last year. Nathan Tomasello, former wrestler. He was nasty. He going against Matt Ramos at 135. Punia is an Indian wrestler that he's like the world's Olympic wrestler. He's really good. Going against Yanni Diakomihales, 4-time national champion out of Cornell. Evan Wick, I think he won nationals 2 or 3 years ago. He going against Jason Knopf at 175. And recently promoted blue belt. Kyle Dake, also killed Dynamite, 4-time national champion, 4 different weight classes out of Cornell. His opponent fell out of he got injured. So Dean Hamady stepping in as a wrestler that's going. He is national champion last year out of Oklahoma State on the David Taylor being coach. There's gonna be so it's a lot of good matches going on. This is the first event that they're doing. One of the main vessels was RIP Paul Hogan was for this event. So I'm not sure monetarily how they'll do. I'm not sure if it's gonna be like remember GFL, Global Fighting League that fell through because of funding. Hopefully they don't have the same issue. But a lot of
That
promising,
seems stacked. Yeah.
a lot of like promising wrestlers that it gives an avenue for wrestlers to compete, even though they don't make the world team. They still like compete and exposure for the sport itself.
Yeah, for sure.
Unluckily, they competed in CGI weekend.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
Last year it was ADCC. This year that.
I think Fox Nation is the one that's streaming that event. I'm not. I know that's a streaming network they have, but they're the ones that have the rights for it. Eric Bischoff, former like WCW owner, he's the one also like a part of one of the investors for this event. But man, that's all I have for today. You wanna close it out?
Sure. Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Give us a like on Instagram. Follow us on Spotify, Instagram, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, iTunes. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for listening.